גורו.
התוכנית משודרת בחסות
שלום חברים, ברוכים הבאים לראיון גורו. אנחנו היום בראיון מיוחד עם מייק ווארדיאן מארצות הברית. מי שלא מכיר, ווארדיאן הוא בן 43, הוא צמחוני, הוא אחד הרצים הכי ורסטיליים שאני מכיר מבחינת הדברים שהוא עושה. הוא עשה מעל 170 מרתונים, מעל 70 אולטרה מרתונים, הוא מחזיק בשיאים מיוחדים, כמו למשל המרתון הכי מהיר בתלבושת אלוויס פרייסלי או ספיידרמן, this one you understand. והוא עושה עוד כל מיני שיאים מטורפים, כמו למשל המרתון הכי מהיר באצטדיון במסלול של 200 מטרים. אנחנו מדברים איתו היום שיחה קצרה לרגל הגעתו לישראל לקראת ההיירוס אולטרה מרתון, ועוד הפתעה קטנה שכדאי לכם להישאר בשבילה בהמשך. So please welcome and say hello to Mick Wardian. How are you, Mike?
I'm great. How are you guys? Nice to see everybody.
Yeah. It's nice to have you here. First of all, I want to thank Zoli Bihari, our mutual friend, for arranging this interview.
Oh yeah, I mean he's super cool. I was lucky enough to meet him in Costa Rica earlier this year, and I'm super excited to kind of get to explore Israel with him quite substantially, I hope, later.
Yeah. So I want to ask you, most of the people know your history, but that you've been a lacrosse player, and then you started running in 1996, I think.
Yes.
Where was the moment or the race that you realized that you are pretty fast, really fast?
It's kind of an interesting story. So I wanted to run the Boston Marathon once, and so my goal was just to run Boston. And I didn't realize you had to qualify for the Boston Marathon. So when I got the pamphlet back, it said, what's your qualifying race? And I ran the Marine Corps Marathon, and I ran faster than the time, like 3 hours and 10 minutes. And I didn't know if that was fast or not. I just knew that's what I needed to do. And then I found out for some people that if you run sub 3 hours, then you're fast. And so then I made that my goal. But I never really felt like I was that fast, probably until I was actually doing a race in India in the Himalaya called the Himalayan 100-mile stage race in 2001. And I was on a mountaintop kind of overlooking the Himalaya, and I decided I wanted to qualify for the 2004 Olympic trials for the marathon in the U.S. And then I set that as my goal, never having run faster than sub 2 hours and 30 minutes for the marathon. So it was a big jump to have to run 9 minutes faster. But as soon as I qualified for the Olympic trials, I ran 2:21, and then I felt like I had arrived as like a fast runner. Even though it's not fast enough to make our team because we have so many good runners, but that's kind of when I felt like I'm pretty fast.
I said before in Hebrew that there is an endless list of races that you took part in, and you're a very versatile runner. There are fast marathoners and there are fast ultra runners, but most of them don't mix the marathons. Or how do you do it? How it works for you?
I think it's actually kind of a symbiotic, like mutually beneficial relationship in that the longer stuff gives me the endurance for the marathons, and then the marathons and the shorter stuff gives me some of the speed for the longer stuff. And I think it's really just comes down to me. It's just a mindset of like what's interesting to me. And I think the nice thing is that it keeps things fresh. Like you never like just think of yourself as, oh, I'm just a trail runner, or, oh, I'm just like a mountain athlete. Like I'm a mountain athlete. I'm a Spider-Man athlete. I'm a treadmill athlete. I'm a dad pushing his kid in the jog stroller athlete. Although now my kid's I'd have to push them with their, Xbox, but like, it's one of those things where I don't like to try to pigeonhole myself in a certain category, and I'm able to like have this huge breadth of experiences, and what I think is the greatest part about that is you get to see different communities. So you're never just with the trail group or just the road runners or just the recreational runners. I kind of mash all those platforms, and I don't know if you've followed, but this year I've already done 46 races of all different distances, from a 1 mile race to setting a fastest known time on the C&O Canal, which was a little over 300 kilometers. So like have a huge breadth of experiences. Yeah. And I think that makes it fun and exciting for me. And it challenges you. Each race is its own entity and its own beast, but hopefully they kind of help each other in the progression throughout the year.
I looked at your races. Sometimes you race day after day, doing marathons with amazing scores of 2:30, 2:45. How do you recover? Because obviously I don't know if you're going all out, if you're doing it day after day, but your recovery is amazing. So do you have any explanation for your quick recovery?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's actually one of the things I'm well known for, is the ability to kind of string high level performances back to back. And yeah, I think it was actually funny. I was talking to Nico Marmoud, who's one of the founders of Hoka today. He has a friend that's going to be doing the 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 continents that I did last year, and was asking me for some recovery tips. And I think that it depends on your fitness level, but each of the races I kind of take all out, and I just focus only on that adventure or that race at that time, because I've found over the years, if you start like saving effort for the next race, you never have the race you want on the race you're at. So I kind of go as hard as I can possibly, like, so at, the highest level. And then I worry about the consequences afterwards. And so for me, usually that means like after the race, I try to give my body, like I usually make a deal with my body, like one special treat, like that I can have, like that I normally don't have. So could be like French fries, or I love fruit, or like these like, $15 like fresh pressed juices that I never buy, but like I love them. So like some kind of special treat to reward my body, but then also to try to keep moving after the race. A lot of people, like, they finish a long event or a marathon and then they end up just sitting down. I feel like if you can continue to move afterwards, that makes a big difference. And then try to get in some longer, like ultra. It's kind of hard if you've been eating food for like 6 hours or something, like to force yourself to eat, but your body does need to kind of recover. And then to take in a lot of fluids. And usually I do that through water. So I'm working with a company called TV12, and they recommend half of your body weight in, it's in ounces, but you can do it in mils also. So, half of your body weight in water. And that's worked really well for me. So I weigh like 140 pounds, and so it's about 70 ounces of water. So it's so you can do it in kilos and then switch it into mils, but it's about that. So it works out. It's actually pretty good. It's probably like, for me, it's about 10 8-ounce glasses of water a day, which is something that I had always done. But it was interesting when someone actually put it in the half of your body weight, because it made it something that you can kind of remember in your head, rather than, oh, I should be drinking, and then how much should I drink? So that I found actually pretty interesting and kind of paralleled what I've already been doing.
So you're coming to Israel next month in the beginning of December to do a race.
Yes.
Which is called Hirus Ultra Marathon in the mountains of Jerusalem. Do you know
Yes.
about the race? Do you know about the environment, about the track itself?
I've seen a little bit about the the HUM, the High-Risk Ultra Marathon Jerusalem, I guess. I know that it seems like it's pretty runnable. It's got some elevation change. It looks like it's going to be a little bit technical. And I think it's is it the second year event? Is that right? Is it 2 years?
Yeah, it's the second.
2 years. And yeah. And so like, it's a newer event. So like, I'm sure that there's still some learning to be done, but I'm excited about it. I mean, I think that one of the greatest things about running is the opportunity to kind of engage with different cultures and communities and kind of see how people differently around the world and be challenged. I know there's some really good runners in Israel. Like I know there's at least 3 that Zoli has told me about, but I'm sure that there's going to be quite a few more at the race. So like, I think it's actually one of the bigger races.
I doubt if you will see it.
Is what
you
it
will see
sounds
them
like.
at the beginning. I doubt if you will see them afterwards. Maybe at the end.
I don't know about that. We'll see.
Maybe at the end.
We'll see. We'll see. Like, so I'm excited to take part. Like, I think one of the best things as an athlete is the opportunity to kind of engage and explore and learn. And I'm actually really excited to see like kind of what the aid stations are going to offer, like how the volunteers are going to be, how the course is marked, and some of the sites, right? So like, especially if we're going to be in the mountains above Jerusalem, like to have some views of the surrounding landscape, like all those things are exciting to me. And the pictures look incredible. I mean, the website's really well done. So like I've been able to kind of explore that a little bit.
It's really organized race with the volunteers are great and it's marked very good.
Okay, well, fantastic. I mean, that's all you can ask for. And I mean, it's kind of the onus is on the athlete to kind of know the course, but I'm not going to have a chance to go and look at the course much beforehand. So I'm going to be trusting in like my trail running ability. And I've been known to get lost before, so I'll try to make sure that doesn't happen.
You already done very, very unique races. Some of them you created yourself. As I mentioned, the seven marathon in 7 continents on 7 days, and the marathon with pushing a stroller and wearing
Right.
Elvis outfit. How do you come up with these ideas, or what's your next crazy idea?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's weird, like where you get inspiration from. So I think like for the race that I did pushing my son in a jog stroller, I was actually running a marathon in Toronto and I saw another guy doing it. And I actually told my wife about 5 years before we had our first son that someday I wanted to do that. So like that was how that came about. For the Elvis world record, my friend Ian Sharman used to have the record, and I thought it'd be funny to try to get his record. And the Spider-Man world record was, I love Spider-Man, and I was like, oh, it'd be fun to try to set a world record as Spider-Man. And then I read about an indoor marathon that hadn't been done since 1934, and so I thought, wow, that'd be fun to create one. So about 2K from my house, there's an indoor track at a little middle school. And so I set a race up just to like try to set a record. And then just this past September 1st, I set the C&O Canal record, which was established in 1976. So I saw an old article in the Washington Post about this record where a guy ran 36 hours and 48 minutes, like 300 kilometers. And I thought, wow, maybe I can do a little bit faster. And I only beat it by 12 minutes. But it was a record that, you know, is 1976. It's almost as old as me. So it was fun to kind of like go after things that are unique. And, you know, I'm hoping to keep doing that. I have some thoughts about next year and some adventures that hopefully I can take part in. And it's always interesting to try to find people that also find what you're doing interesting. And I think I've found that with some people over in Israel. So hopefully I'll be able to to do something really unique and different as part of 2019 in Israel.
Yeah. So you're coming next month to Israel to do the ultra marathon.
Yes.
But you're coming to do something else, and this is a surprise for the Israeli audience. You're coming to explore the Israel National Trail, what we called in Hebrew Shvil Israel, and you come to explore it with Zoli's company. It's Knan Adventure Running, and you are doing it for trying to do FKT on the trail on March, I think.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I'm super excited to be with Zoli, and we're going to run the hum, and then we're going to hopefully zip down to the bottom of the Israeli National Trail and see some of the more challenging parts of the terrain, just so I can have in my head what I'm going to need to prepare for. And then, yes, I'd like to come back in March and try to set the fastest known time, or FKT, for the Israeli National Trail. And I think that it's going to be something it's going to be a building block in my running adventures and my kind of progression and evolution as an athlete. And it'll be a chance to kind of get to see a lot of the different terrain that is part of Israel. And from what I understand, it's one of the most magnificent trails in the world. So I can't wait to. Yeah, that's what I've heard, and I'm super excited, not just for the trail, but the chance to kind of be a part of the running culture of Israel, and see what the different food is like in the different regions, and then also kind of explore the different climates, because I understand, there's a lot of urban, and then there's more wild parts of the trail, and I think that's going to be fantastic, and something that
the desert in the south and the mountains in the north.
Right.
It's 1,030 kilometers. The trail is 1,030 kilometers.
Yes, correct.
Do
Yeah.
you have estimation how much time it will take you, or how much time you're aiming?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be amazing to be anywhere between 10 and 12 days. I think that would be probably one of the faster times ever done on the trail. I think it's a little bit longer than, I think there was a guy, Carlos Goldberg, who had said it previously in 12 and a half days, but I think that might have been unsupported or something. And I think it was maybe a little bit shorter when he did it. So
the trail changed.
Yeah. So like maybe 100K a day. And then if I have a couple good days, maybe kind of push that a little bit. I've never done anything this long before, back to back to back. And so I think that's going to be a big challenge for me, is just see how my body reacts to being out and pushing it every day on those kind of distances. But I mean, that's part of why you do these things, is to see, what you're capable of and kind of where your limits are. And, if I have to go a little bit slower, then I will. And if I feel better, which traditionally, as I get into these things, I kind of find a pattern and like a rhythm, and I'll have great support with Zoli and the team that he's putting together. And so like, if I can go faster, I will. If I need to go slower, I will. But, the goal is to kind of make it and kind of explore it and kind of be a part of the journey and just see where it takes me. But yeah, I want to do it as fast as I can.
All right. Thank you, Mike. First of all, I want to thank you for having this conversation, and I'm looking forward to meet you when you come to Israel on December.
Hey, thank you. Talk to you guys.
התוכנית משודרת בחסות
רן גורו